toxic people get uncomfortable with peace around them. They are uncomfortable when the family dynamic is peaceful. Let's say you're at a get together and all of you have reached a certain level of healing, but there are a couple of danglers that want to hold on to the toxicity. And let's say that a get together is going great, but that toxic person that hasn't healed completely yet just feels like they have to throw this little dig in front of everybody just to try to upset the apple cart. Or let's say they have this side conversation going behind your back about you, and it's meant to disrupt the family peace. This is toxic manipulation. This happened to me the other day when we were all just talking and somebody shot a nasty barb at me, and I think it was meant to devalue me in front of the whole group. It becomes about not what they said, it becomes about how I react because you are in charge of your own reaction. You're not in charge of what other people are saying or what other people are doing or even how they're thinking or perceiving what is going on around them. You are only responsible for how you react. And I did not react. I just kind of looked at the person and didn't say anything. And then the person next to me, her mouth just dropped and my mouth kind of dropped. That was just a sudden reaction. But I didn't verbally give any kind of response to this person. And it just kind of dropped. But later it was brought to my attention how disrespectful that person was being to me. Trying not to react is hard. It has taken me years and years and years to learn how to do this. But the key is not to take what they say personally. It is about them personally. It is not about you. It doesn't have anything to do with you. Please don't internalize it because it's their baggage. It's not yours. And I live in my head. I kind of internalize what people say and how I should have responded. I came up with really good responses 24 hours later when I'm at home. And that's not functional. I have learned live in the moment. Don't live in your head. Don't keep reliving the arguments. And believe me, I know this is really difficult because I have done this for years. But as I'm starting to heal, as I'm starting to become more educated in how to deal with family dynamics, work dynamics, just dynamics with people, I have learned not to take things personally. I'm an author. I like to write these complicated family dynamics in my books because they're such juicy tidbits. And I truly believe that almost everybody probably has some kind of odd, toxic family dynamics going on. It may not be in your close family dynamic, but it may be that odd aunt, or it may be that odd cousin, or there's always seems to be somebody in the extended family or even extended family that is just dysfunctional. What I find is like holidays, sometimes people are stressed out, and this is when it really comes out because they don't deal with their stress well. Maybe they're stressed about going to the family situation because maybe on some level they don't know really how to deal with family dynamics. I think a lot of times they think that everybody else is the problem and they haven't done the internal growth to realize that they're causing a lot of this by the things that they're saying or not having a filter on their mouth. And I've had to deal with a lot of these situations. I'm getting so good at it, but I have been studying this, gosh, since, well, first of all, I have a degree in occupational therapy. I've taken a lot of psychology classes for my degree, and I've worked 26 years in the healthcare industry. So I've learned about how to deal with difficult patients and how to change my approach. Translate that over into family, though, my own family, your family, it's a little close and it is harder to do. It's easier when you have a patient and you're likely not going to ever see them again, or if you do, you only see them 1 hour a day. When it is your own family and you're in a situation that's closed in, such as like a family dynamic at a holiday or a family get together because of somebody's birthday, maybe, it makes it a lot more difficult. Also, family toxicity, what if it's a parent? It is really difficult to have toxic parents because as they age, it seems like they become more toxic. I've been told that they've been congenial their whole life and that they are tired of holding back their feelings, but that does not give them the right to blast people, cut people down. It does not give them the right to cut you down and to belittle you. But again, it's how you respond. Setting boundaries with that person is crucial for your sanity. They don't like boundaries, I guarantee it, because nobody wants to say, hey, this is my limit, and then they have to go along with it. But you have to have boundaries for yourself. I have tried for years to appease people, to be the peacemaker in the family, and I'm not doing it anymore. Every time I do it, it backfires on me and I become the target. And I'm just not going to play that game anymore. Also, another thing, making sure that you're not participating in what I call triangulation, where the toxic person is talking about somebody else in the family and they're complaining about them, they're saying their side of the story, they're making that other person to be in the wrong. And the toxic person is taking the victim attitude, making sure not to get involved in that because it will come back to haunt you. Even if you're innocently just sitting there listening, it will come back because that toxic person is talking about them. They're also going to be talking about you to them. It puts them in this triangle and they want to be the center of all this chaos going on around them. It's manipulative. If they're in the center, then they have control of what people are thinking, how they're behaving. And if they're saying this about this person and this about this person, and then those two people are at odds, it becomes the toxic person is the center and it gives them all of this control. It's amazing how this dynamic works. One thing I've also learned, not only do toxic people not like boundaries, they also don't like when you grow. When you start growing as a person, it threatens their position in the family to cause chaos. They can't control you as much because you see through these dynamics. Please don't stop growing to accommodate these toxic people. Keep on your path, keep growing. Again, don't take it personally. It's about them, their lack of growth, their feeling threatened in the family dynamic because they may not feel like they're in control of everybody. Think about a puppet show. They're the puppeteer. If one of the puppets steps out and says, hey, whoa, I'm not going to talk about other family members unless they're present and they can defend themselves, then it would become a three-way conversation. Boy, do they not like that. Be prepared. You're going to likely get some backlash. This happened to me recently to where I said, I really just feel uncomfortable with people judging people and their life choices. I don't think it's up to us to judge how they want to live. I believe in just accepting people for who they are. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be an active participant in that. You may not have a close relationship with them because maybe you don't agree with how they're living their lifestyle. However, it is still their lifestyle and they have a right to live the lifestyle they want. I'm not going to have a family member come to me and judge that person and try to do that triangulation tactic so that we're all turning against that person and judging them. It's just is so dysfunctional. It takes a brave person. It takes you to step outside that generational curse and to stop it. It takes a leader, it takes somebody to stop the toxic behavior. It still may go on around you, but you don't have to participate in it. This causes you to have to reset your mindset around, okay, I'm not going to take this personally because she's obviously stressed because it's a holiday. She's stressed because she has to confront something. She's reacting to me because she can't regulate her own emotions. Don't take it personally. I just have to say, you know what? I need to go. Love you. I don't want to get involved in this, but remove yourself. Do not get into the middle of that game. Sometimes you can just get really quiet. I have found that if you get quiet, they'll try a few times to chip at you. And if you don't give them the reaction that they're wanting, sometimes they'll stop and they'll change the behavior and they'll realize, "Hmm, she's not going to play this game with me." Other times they're going to get angry at you and even hang up on you. This has actually happened to me from a, from a parent. It just feels horrible when a parent hangs up on you. It feels like abandonment, but again, I have told myself, change my mindset. Do not take it personally. It's about them. They're not able to regulate their own emotions. And believe me, I know it's hard. But with practice, this will get easier and easier. So keep trying because it's so worth it. It's worth your own peace. Let the chaos go over there and you stay in peace. And every time it enters your mind, because I am an overthinker, I have oftentimes had to just tell myself, oh, stay in the present moment. If I find that I'm overthinking this whole conversation, she said this and she said that, and I can't believe that person said that. I will say, "Oh, wow, it's sunny outside. Oh, the sky is blue. Isn't that beautiful?" Trying to pull myself back into the present moment. It doesn't matter how you do that, just focus on something around you. And you might find that that'll really help keep you from overthinking because a lot of your energy goes to overthinking and it's just not worth your peace. It will actually drain the life out of you. So it's worth repeating. Some people are uncomfortable with peace. It feels abnormal to them. Just think if you are public speaking for the first time, you're going to get all anxious and maybe agitated, depending on what your personality type is, because it's out of your comfort zone. The toxic people, peace is outside their comfort zone. So they have to create this drama so that they feel comfortable. And as messed up as that is the truth. But don't let somebody else steal your peace away. Your peace is so important to your own growth, your own joy, your own happiness. I don't feel like you can be joyful and happy if you're worrying about pleasing everybody else, especially toxic people who are trying to upset the cart and dump all the apples on the ground. Not only do you need to set boundaries, sometimes you need to get distant. I thought I could maintain this relationship with a family member by just backing up and not being so emotionally attached to the outcome. It worked for a little while, but the pattern always repeats. After a certain amount of time, they have to upset everything and then they like to cut me off. Here's another one in my family. I need to take a break. And then they disappear for a month. They don't return phone calls, they don't return texts. And it feels like that abandonment wound that so many of us have because a person has just disappeared. Just tried to say to you, you don't matter. And I can't deal with you because there's something wrong with you. I'm going to shut off, cut you off until you behave properly. That is manipulation. Don't allow that to happen. If they don't want to talk to you, go enjoy the drama free part of your life. Be glad they're not dragging you into all that. And I know that it's rough. I know it's hard because you want a relationship with your mother, let's say, or your sister, or your family member, your brother, your cousin, whoever it is. If they're not capable of it and they're dragging you down and they can't match your higher vibration or your good mood and they're trying to destroy your peace, then really think about that. Because do you really want that in your everyday life? Sure, there might be times where you need to see them at a birthday party or some kind of function like a graduation or even a holiday. But if you can maintain minimal contact in a pleasant way, keep your conversations short, don't talk every day. I'm guilty of this one. I think that, oh, I can talk to my family member every day because there are aspects I really enjoy, is not worth when that big ball comes crashing down on me. Hey, I don't think that I can talk to you anymore because you don't believe the same thing I do, or you're living a different lifestyle than I agree with, or you're focused on money and I don't agree with it, so I can't be friends with you. And at the same time, you're just literally trying to pay your bills. You're not focused on money. You're just trying to actually make a living. Do you really need that every day in your life? Really evaluate what you're allowing in. When you let that go, it's like a cork and you're holding it underwater and you're fighting against joy. You're fighting against peace because this person keeps bringing you down. But when you just go boop and let that cork go, goes right back up to the top, and all of a sudden you feel joyful in freedom. Sure, there are times where you're going to feel sad, but again, you can just maintain a distant relationship with them so it's not so awkward when you do meet them at get togethers. Anyway, I hope that helps because I'm living proof. I have dealt with this over and over and over again for years, and I wish I could go back and give myself the same advice. So I hope it helps you. Please drop comments below and let me know what you're dealing with, if it's helped. And please like and subscribe because it helps my channel reach you, and my goal is to help people. So, anyway, have a great day until next time.